coming. Crack coming. Crack coming. Don't make me pop up all this bitch and have to smack some.
Start recording. Hey, how you doing? Fallen Angels, right here. I'm welcoming you to my channel. You guys are my angels. You fell into my channel, so you're here to watch this video. And I'm going to be reacting to some TikToks, and I'm going to have some girls doing twerks for you as well. But I just want to talk to you in the beginning about what's updating a little bit about my life. I have a CPS lady, that we had no problems with her. She's a transitioner. It's a guy transition identifying as a girl, and that's their prerogative, and no issues. That's their prerogative. And I hope you guys aren't mean and don't, that's their decision. But the last time we had a sit down, in my front yard with my fiance right here, she was like threatening me that with my channel, like if I don't take the videos of my girls, videos like this that I'm doing right now. She was complaining about how I was showing girls twerking in my videos, and there's no reason for that. And I'm just like, and updating you guys on my life, like the CPS and stuff in court and all that shit. Like, I guess parts of my family are getting pissed off because they feel it's supposed to be private. Like, I air out my dirty laundry. Like, nobody can say anything bad about me. That's true, at least. They can make up lies. Anything bad about me that I haven't already said about myself. That's what my whole channel is. It's about Bozo Me Chronicles. You know what I mean? So, but I think my family is trying to put more of a roadblock in front of me and my fiance to regain custody of our kid, because we've done everything, and we didn't do nothing really wrong. That's another story in itself. I got proof and everything. Everything's coming with me to court. My lawyer knows. But she stopped by, and she was complaining about the court, talking about my case and stuff, and I was just like, you don't understand. That has nothing to do with me being a parent, being good or being bad. Like, this has been my hobby, my mental health aid, like my crutch, like you guys. I use you as, you guys help me, and my support system, because I don't got family. They're all alive. I'm not a liar. Not one of them wants me alive. So that just tells you why I say I don't got family. So you guys and my fiance, are my family, my friends. I cut off every friend I know because they were bad. They had bad intentions, and I just don't need that negativity around my life. I'm negative enough myself. I don't need someone to compound that shit. But so I was saying she was stepping out of a league, because it's called freedom of speech. I'm following the guidelines here and in the world and in the parenting thing. I'm not like neglecting a kid on camera or saying derogatory stuff, and if I was, I can, as long as I'm doing it on my channel. No one's holding a gun to your head. All right, family or my family's friend that's watching these and telling them, all right, I hope you know, if you get me pissed off, I'll start doxing people. Not location doxing. Names. Actual first and last names of the people that were baking out my house as 6 of us preteens were around it and growing up and being raised around it while drugs are also being sold. I'll start using full names, and if you guys go on their Facebook or their Instagram or their TikTok or wherever and say things to them, I didn't tell you to, but I'm not right now. But just be aware, I'm able to do that. I may not be the 3 million follower channel, but I got enough clips in my channel that I could do some damage. I'm famous enough, so a lot of people will know more of the truth, and it's always the truth. I even said it. I used to smoke crack. I used to do any drug under the sun. any drug under the sun. I fucked prostitutes. I broke the law. I fucking beat men. You know, like, I was a piece of shit. I fucking didn't work if I didn't have to. You know, like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, I aired out my shit. I talked bad to my parents. You know, like, it was enough stress that was getting put on me by her. And I have said bad things. I even said cunt twice or 3 times. And you should never to any girl. But you don't know what happened because I never aired it out. If I feel I ever have to, I will air that story out. It's a fucking disgusting story, actually. Like, my fiance knows about it. My therapist knows about it. And my therapist had to talk me through it for the 2 years. Like, even if I got just a drink, that's the only time I leave my room, or when I left the house, I wanted to just leave and walk. But if I got a drink, I would even get fucked with. Like sucking the teeth or saying, like, I know you hate me. You don't have to start. Like, I'm not talking to you. I'm not bothering you. And if I even wanted to talk to them, like my pop, because I had a business, e-commerce business, and he had a tool and die business himself, I just wanted to ask him questions because I put a lot of money into it, $7,000, and I wanted it to succeed, and it didn't. So I tell the truth. I failed miserably, buying all these fucking Gucci and Prada and Burberry things, and thinking it was COVID time. So, but I was told, always shut the fuck up. We're watching something, like soap operas. My dad was home from work, drinking his drink, and my mom too. And I couldn't even ask one question because I'd be interrupting the soap opera time. But then it happened to me once. The way that happened was just one simple question I wanted about my company. And you would think I would get help because they would be happy that I'm finding a way to make money. I'm trying to be something positive. My mom told me that, like, get the fuck out of here, you know, like me and father watching these soaps, get the fuck out of here. And then 20 minutes later, my baby sister shows up with her sheriff, now they're married husband, but they weren't at the time. And then my dad stopped watching soap opera, spent the whole night, and he goes to bed early because they wake up early. He would go to bed at 8, the latest 9, but probably 8 o'clock because they would wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and shit like that. But he stayed up till like 10 o'clock in the garage working to make my sister and him out of a cabinet, like an armoire, turn that woodworking and turn it into a cage that was nicer looking, custom for what kind of animals? Guinea pigs. So I couldn't even ask one question. But they can get all of that done. Hours of his time, you know, and work. You know what I mean? I just wanted to ask a question. So that just shows you guys what kind of life I live. But they're the first people that will say something bad about me. Like, for this stuff that I'm dealing with now, my entire family, extended family too, because of my immediate family, MK Ultras them and gets them to hate me without even knowing if anything they're being told is true. And, you know, they just work together just to talk crap about me. They tell over-exaggerated, blown-out lies. I told every story. Like, whatever they said is lies. Because if it wasn't, I would have made it a Bozo Chronicle. You know what I mean? Like, come on. So, sooner or later, I'm going to get pissed. And I know they watch my videos. And I know my CPS lady watches, or guy or lady watches the video. So, how you guys doing? And, you know, eventually, if I feel my back's against the wall, people are getting doxxed. Names, locations, you know, whatever. That's not illegal. So, I'll be following the law. Always will. Have been for fucking the longest time. Drug-free for the longest time. I fucking did my hair fucking today. I fucking got shit on me when I was showered. But, yeah, so oh yeah, let me get back to the story. Sorry, guys. So, she was saying that about about talking about the court and all that stuff. I just talked about stuff involving me with court. Like, you don't have it like that to tell me that I have to pump my brakes on stuff like that. It's out of your job function. So if you're watching, it's out of your job function. And that's why I left a text telling her the story. When I'm done telling you, I did leave a text saying she threatened me and my fiance with our child at court, saying court won't work out well for you if you don't do this, out of a job function. And it wasn't even for the court videos, it was for my girl videos, because I got girls shaking their ass. And I said something funny to her, not sexual harassment either, but it was funny as hell. And she was just going in and going in. It's because my family is hitting her up, saying that, oh, they can't take it, that I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That's why I've had court for this long, because they're all working together to make this a conspiracy to not let me get my kid back. And once I do, because I got a major great fight. You guys know from one of the other videos, I even had the conversation with the tester in Utah. And she wants me to call back, let her know what happened at court. That's how friendly I am and how much easier it is to me to make friends. And I learned a hell of a lot of information. So when I get him back, I'm getting my nieces held from me. I can't see my nieces. Even wasn't allowed to give my nieces Christmas gifts. You're putting kids into arguments you have of your negative feelings towards me, just because I asked your MMA fighter man, who you're screwed now, by the way. Trump passed a law. If you're together 5 years, you don't have to get married. You're common law. 5 years, that's a law, federal law now. So you have a 7 and some odd change daughter, you're common law. So if you ever try to get rid of him, half your house, half of everything. And he tried to get his name put on the mortgage before, and you told him no. It's on there now. I mean, it might not be on there, but he gets half your shit. And since he might not work now because he's a stay-at-home housecracker, watching the kids because you won't pay babysitter, and you don't work every day, so I don't understand that. So you think you get a babysitter just for the times you work and have him work full time. But he had your car from the beginning, just like the guy from Gordon Heights. Had your car, but the guy from Gordon Heights was beating you. I tried to fight him in your car when we were going camping, you remember. And this guy, I tried to fight. I called him out a bunch of times. I even got texts where I was just like, meet me at the court right now. Like, we'll do this right now. And every time, folds like a lawn chair. I got told by my aunt, I won't say a name or nothing like that. She tried to line me up and get me to be disrespectful, but smarter than that. She said, "Oh, I'm lucky I didn't fight him. He would have left me bleeding, all coiled up on the floor," and because she knows I don't even got a fuse. Bitches use their mouth. Like niggas that talk shit, they're bitches. I don't even talk. Once I know everything's good, you ain't gonna be a cop caller, that's it. I'm swinging. I'm swinging for a fucking grand slam, and I'm probably putting your ass to bed without dinner first shot. Especially since he's in his 50s. He's got a big belly, bigger than mine, and he's out of shape. He doesn't work. He doesn't do nothing. He uses my sister. And I was supposed to feel ashamed of myself anytime I said something bad because he takes good care of Damien. You guys are holding him hostage from us because the day I was allowed to take showers regularly, because I got us into a shelter, was the same day because of Mom, but doesn't matter, you made the decision. Same day you told them we weren't allowed at your house no more, that we have to do it with someone who's there, like a CPS person. So I get them 1 hour a week instead of 9 hours every day if I wanted it, but when we were homeless, you put that over our head. We couldn't come there unless we showered because I had ticks on me, and I let my family know because I was trying to keep contact with my family. We were homeless. I thought they would want to know I was safe, she was safe. I thought. It was like I was annoying them, but I told them, I showed them pictures of ticks I had before I took them off. I found, and she said after that, nope, because God forbid I have a bug on me. But we got a tent after that. That was before we had a tent, and the kids she's got plus my kid, she just doesn't want bugs, so she wants us to take showers, which was $140 to do at the hotel. Not like she offered her bathroom for us to shower as soon as we got there. You would think, or meet us at McDonald's, meet us at the park. None of that. Her house, or you're not seeing them. That was the roadblock, because I was suspended from my disability, and at the time she was only getting like 200 a week. She wasn't working no hours for me, my caregiver. Now she makes at least twice that, if not more a week. And I get my disability, so we're doing a lot better. But we couldn't afford the $140 because it was $200 a month just about for the storage. They raised it to almost $300, and we left them. Well, they kicked us out because I kept blasting fucking my 215s in the storage thing, hanging out, drinking and eating from food we got from 7-Eleven, blasting my fucking music, and they walked up and they told us, after this month we're out. So no problem. We went to the other company, your other place. It's Prime. They got millions of places. We went to the one that was right next to where we were camping. So all we had to do is walk two buildings over, and we're at our storage. We were able to travel a little easier. But I still have to set everything back up before it got too dark for me to see how to build the tent. All right, but then she started talking more about the girls. Like, she didn't care about the court as much, and the stuff like that. She cared about the girls. Like, who the fuck are you to care about the girls? Is it because you identify as the girl? And you feel that I'm using them as a tool, for clicks or something? Well, bitch, I am. Like, deal with it. Hold that down, because there's nothing you could do. I'm a good man. This is my mental health crutch. It helps me vent. It helps me get support, because you guys are all supportive. And also, I want to monetize this, and this will be passive income soon. And it's just me also getting gratitude to share my wisdom, because I lived a diabolical life and had movie plots happening that my girl said, like, some of the shit that happened in your life would be in a movie. Like, I have stuff like that. So I figured I would teach people my actions, tell the story good, so you get the endorphins and you feel like you were there, and then also tell you the conclusion. Prison, eventually. 10 years combined, Like, if you do one, you'll eventually lead to the other place. Eventually. You might get away with it for fucking 15, 20 years. Eventually, if you don't stop, So if you got away with it, maybe you should chill for a minute. Or if you do this, don't do it too cocky, because you got away with this. Pull back and always sweep behind you. That's what I learned to do. And I'm a fucking beast at that. And that's all I'll say. Learn to sweep behind you. If you can understand me, learn to sweep behind you, because I'm a beast. I should have been hired as Stanley Steamer, because that's how good I am at cleaning behind me. But she was talking about the girls, and I said, I don't just do that. I talk about fucking prostitutes. I talk about my girl, fucking how I fucked her for 8 hours the first day we had sex, and I did it the next time we had sex, because I wanted to show it wasn't a gin dick or me taking pills. It was John doing it. The only man on the fucking earth, I think, who can, because I didn't stop because I finished. I stopped because she needed the rest, and she couldn't take more than 8 hours. And I had another girl before. She knows my whole history anyway. The girl before her, we went to the hotel, we got a little drunk, 6 hours straight. She begged me to stop because she dried up. You know what I mean? And this 100% prostitute, I made a video about that. This 100% prostitute lied after she texted me one time on Facebook. 6 hours later, she was in my house, butt-ass naked. But she told me she wants me to finish on her. So I knew, red flags. Red flags. You don't know who the fuck I am. You've been obviously studying my pictures or whatever. But I want pussy, you know what I mean? So I don't care if I pull out at the last second. Too bad. But I last fucking forever, you know what I mean? Like, I was killing it, murdering her for I don't know, 5.5 hours at that time. She said she had to leave soon because at 2 o'clock or something, her mother had to use the van to get to work. No, if I cared, I would have said, what the fuck are you talking about? Where does she work? I just didn't care because I wanted pussy. You know what I mean? I was living by, at that place, so I could do whatever I want, have people over. So we're fucking, and fucking 5.5 hours go by, still fucking a hard body, letting her know what heaven feels like, a slice of heaven, just a dosage of it, And the phone rings. She has to pull over, pick it up, and I heard, "No, not yet." All right, promise. All right, bye. Good news. My mom said she don't have to go to work for another hour, an hour and a half, so we could keep fucking. Now, I later find out, because she begged me not to tell anybody we had sex, because everybody knows, or thinks, because she's not, because she had sex with me, 100% lesbian. What it was her fucking wife asking her, "Did he come in you yet?" "No, not yet." "Well, if he don't come in you in another hour, hour and a half, I don't give a fuck. I want you out of that house and coming home." "All right, you got it." Hung up. So they were trying to steal my cum and get pregnant so they didn't have to go through the whole adoption process and having like CPS or child people involved, blah, 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 blah. They got played because of how long I last. But my cum is worth more than uncut cocaine. And I got that text out of the blue where, "Oh, John, I heard about your tornado tongue. Meet me at the Smith Haven Mall. Make me come, please, Daddy." Like you girls keep talking amongst yourselves about guys worse than guys. And if you guys do talk about how many girls you fuck, like my son Token did a whole song about that shit. Like, that's gay. Talking to another man about fucking your cock and where it's been, like, that's a little gay if you ask me. I don't need to say how many girls I've been with, but now you guys say how many bodies. Bodies is how many people you killed. So how many people I've been with, because it's nothing to brag about. And men lie, women lie, like he says. Everybody fucking is full of shit. So I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear sex life. That's fucking some homoerotic talk. But back to the story. So she was saying stuff about the girls, and I was telling her how I fucked her for 8 hours, 2 days straight. And that's just who I am. I'm gifted it, and I can brag. And oh, please recharge. Sorry about that. You see, I had to switch headphones. My other ones, my Sony's ran out of battery, so hopefully this mic works as good. But tonight we're gonna look at like some podcast setup, with a new mic and the mixing board or whatever it is to upgrade us, the best we can. It's not a good place. I'm in a shelter with people listening, but I do the best I can. So please bear with me with these headphones for this time. But I was talking about how I fucked her 8 hours the 2 times, and she was right there sitting next to me. Like, so it's obviously wasn't a fake flex. And she's like, "Yeah, I watch that. And you think that's what I want to hear? I don't want to hear that." I said, "Listen, two things. I didn't put a gun to your head and make you watch my videos. Number two, I am admitting I wouldn't want to hear that. I'd want to feel that." I swear on my kid, I said that. And I didn't say it once. I said it twice because she complained again about the girls, and she doesn't want to see that and hear me talking about sex. And I said, once again, I wouldn't want to hear any of that either. That's what I would want to feel. I'd want to feel that. And I didn't sexually harass her. It wasn't a comment that was negative. It was the truth. I wouldn't want to hear it either. I'd want to feel it. A God fucking stepping down to earth and bringing someone to heaven with them for 8 hours? Yeah, that's something. That's something that sounds fun. I'm sure that plenty of people would raise their hand and say they're up for it. But that's the stuff that's going on right now. I got I'm dealing with her. Like, I got the outpatient lady. I did what the court said. Yeah, go to an outpatient, do what they say, whatever they suggest, just follow it, and you're fine. And I did. It was an oasis one. They urined us a bunch, a couple times, back-to-back days to see if we would get high right after urine. And it was just me she wanted to talk to, not even my fiance that much. It was me, like all 3 days, but she came in because she loved my stories. I would tell her my Bozo Chronicles because I'm telling the truth. I'm the drug addict. I was a drug addict. I had it since 12, because it was easy to obtain fucking drugs. So I was able to learn from my good old pop. And everybody's all right with it back then. But me, they treat like I'm a PDF file, talk bad about me, and treat me like shit. Try to cut me off. I don't care anyway because my lawsuit's done, and they're giving me off. Like they have no more motions. Like the judge threw out the defendant's motion, so they got to give me offers now to avoid going to trial. And if they don't, we're going to trial. That's the next step, and that's where I would get the whole 10 mil. So I'm getting offers soon, and when I'm rich, they can go fuck themselves. I'm not giving nobody nothing. Nobody. It's all going in trust, so I can't get sued for it. It's all going to be written in my will to Natasha, because just in case if they did something and they paid a lot of grands to get a lawyer and they take our son, if I wrote it in his name too, they would have access to his money. So I'm going to leave it all to Natasha and she'll handle it just in case that's the situation. And I'm getting out of New York with my kid. Bye. But can't think of any new updates other than that. We're trying to rent an apartment for, that goes off your income. We could spare $900 a month to rent because you wouldn't have to pay storage no more and stuff like that. But that's it. So we're waiting to find out. Someone's been looking for us, and someone else is going to be looking for us as well. So enough of me talking. I'm going to go start reacting to these videos, and I'm going to be talking about and reacting, so please bear with me.
People are very concerned for Britney Spears after seeing what she's been posting to TikTok. So if you go
That's
on
the only thing
Britney's
for
TikTok
us,
right
and
now,
then I
you were
push
going to
down
see some
and
very
push up, right?
disturbing posts.
Down
Now, the
here,
actual
right?
posts that she's putting up are concerning,
And push up,
but
right?
the descriptions that she's putting on some of these posts are what make it seem like something is very, very wrong. In some of these descriptions, she does things like call herself Mother Teresa, and if you just go through and read through these different descriptions yourself, they definitely come off
My
like they were
earrings
written by
both
someone
do
who
it.
is not mentally fully there. I hope whatever's going on, she ends up getting help for it very, very soon.
The Great Sphinx, an equinoctial monument aligned perfectly to the rising sun on the spring equinox. Anybody can test this for themselves. Just go to Giza on the 21st of March, be there before dawn, stand behind the Sphinx, and you will see the sun rising directly in line with the gaze of the Sphinx. But the question is, what constellation was behind the Sphinx? And 12,500 years ago, it was the constellation of Leo. And actually, the constellation of Leo has a very Sphinx-like look. And I and my colleagues are pretty sure that the Sphinx was originally a lion entirely, and that over the thousands of years, it became damaged, it became eroded, particularly the part of it that sticks out the head. There were periods when the Sphinx was completely covered in sand, but still the head stuck out. By the time you come to the fourth dynasty, when the Great Pyramids are supposedly built, by the time you come to the fourth dynasty, the head of the original lion head would have been a complete mess. And we suggest that it was then recarved into a pharaonic head.
If you look at the pictures of the hieroglyphs,
Yeah, I want to comment about that. Egypt, amazing, and they are telling lies about a lot of stuff. That guy right there knows the truth. It's a hell of a lot. All the Great Pyramids, all three of them, and the Sphinx that shows the water damage, and there was only great lakes and great water at a certain time, a long time ago, longer than that little bit ago. It was buried under sand. They just found it, and then they tried to copy it. I could talk long time about 52 angle pyramids or the three great pyramids of Giza. Not a soul made one after that, and they weren't able to. Every time they tried, it collapsed. And the Ben pyramid, they tried it at the same time as another person, theirs collapsed, so they turned it to where it was easier, and it's called the Ben pyramid. But the Sphinx was during the Leo time, the sign of Leo time, and he was a lion. I know that for a fact. Now I'm gonna go back.
People are very concerned for Britney Spears after seeing what she's been posting to TikTok. So if you go on Britney's TikTok right now, you are going to see some very disturbing posts. Now the actual posts that she's putting up are concerning, but the descriptions that she's putting
anymore. Are you guys seeing it? I missed them.
Israel.
Years ago, it was the constellation of Leo, and actually the constellation of Leo has a very Sphinx-like look, and I and my colleagues are pretty sure that the Sphinx was originally a lion entirely, and that it, over the thousands of years, it became damaged, it became eroded, particularly the part of it that sticks out the head. There were periods when the Sphinx was completely covered in sand, but still the head stuck out. By the time you come to the Fourth Dynasty, when the Great Pyramids are supposedly built, by the time you come to the Fourth Dynasty, the head of the lion, original lion head, would have been a complete mess. And we suggest that it was then recarved into a pharaonic head.
If you look at the pictures of the hieroglyphs across the world, there are pictures of an angel with arms and legs. You can see it in almost every religious, every civilization. The Native American have it, the Egyptians have it, and they all have this thing holding up a pine cone.
What happened to the aliens
Standing
that
for
were
the
coming out of the
pineal
ocean,
gland.
coming out of the sky? I don't see anything like that on my For You page anymore. Are you guys seeing it? I missed them.
Israel was created as the instrument to bring about the Battle of Armageddon and the fulfillment of prophecy, a war that will be so terrible, where nuclear weapons will be used, so that the American citizens and the other people in the world will get down on their knees and beg for no more war. And what is the answer to that? They're going to be told the only way we can guarantee no more war is if we destroy the sovereignty of nations and we come together as one humanity in a one world government. And I'm telling you, unless the American people wake up and stop it, starting in about 1996, the Battle of Armageddon will become a reality. Babylon is in Iraq. Read the book of Revelations. Whether you believe in the book or not, read it, because the men who are bringing this about are using it as their script.
Well, the UN did indeed charter Israel as a sovereign nation. They were the ones who created this state.
That is correct. It was really created by Great Britain and the United States, with the United States being the major instigant.
Before the Mayans,
Yeah, thank you for bearing with me. I'm having trouble. I still got to get used to how to switch. Yeah, I can't say a lot with this. This will get me get this video taken off. But the people that they were talking about, the people that have been in the news, I feel we're their bitch. Where Trump's their bitch. Everybody's that nation. I'm not gonna say it, but you know, their bitch. And they're causing so much trouble. It's ridiculous. And the only reason why we bombed Iran that time, Trump did, is because they threatened to nuke them if he didn't. And Trump was not trying to see a nuke get thrown and have nuclear wars possibly easier to become by, like with Russia and all that shit. But this Greenland, there's a whole bunch of stuff I can't talk about, and I don't think a lot of stuff is good that's been going on, like taking a country, Greenland, like taking it. Russia said no, and they're threatening nuclear bombs if we do, like America. And they're making, with the Gaza Strip, they're making this a tech hub where billionaires live and all the tech and AI is. What about the people who took the land from by destroying everything with bombs? You know, like I just hope Greenland Inc. can be the new sovereign place that I can't speak of, where they give them that. You know, it's gonna be a fucking war. But I'll go back to the videos. I just want to make sure I don't start at the beginning.
People are very concerned for Britney Spears after seeing what she's been posting.
That this object is Earhart's plane. He believes it's more likely a coconut palm tree that washed up during the storm. But he has a point though. He thinks if Amelia's plane is really there after nearly a century, it's far more likely that it would be buried deep inside the coral rubble, not still stuck in the sand. Also, his team searched that specific area before and found nothing. The search will take place this November over 6 days, followed by another 5 days of actual excavation. Either they're about to solve one of history's greatest mysteries, or they're about to dig up the world's most expensive coconut tree. Whether they find a plane or a palm tree, this November expedition could either close the book on Amelia Earhart forever or crack this mystery open even wider.
This is a panoramic of the St. Louis World's Fair in 1904.
Watch, I'll speak on this stuff beforehand.
So just observe this footage and ask yourself, in less than 2 years' time, and not even St. Louis proper, but on the remote outskirts of St. Louis nonetheless, all these buildings, you can say temporary materials or whatever, all this landscape and architecture, all those fully grown trees. Not only that, maybe a couple of those buildings, you can say they slapped together in a couple of years, but this canal system, you see, this was all dug out by hand with horse and buggy, or so the narrative tells us. On top of that, you're going to add fountains. So, I mean, what's the rush? You only have 2 years, plenty of time, right? Meanwhile, back in present time, it takes twice as long for them to build a road next to my house.
I'll fill potholes.
And only half that time for it to fall apart again. You gotta remember, it wasn't just one of these world fairs.
Quite a few.
They were doing these almost yearly, all over the world.
And then destroying
the immense amount of materials, temporary or otherwise, and skilled craftsmen to pull that off alone makes these impossible with the narrative.
Now, what I want to say about that, the World's Fair, like that guy's very smart. Like none of those were temporary structures. I don't care what anybody says. They weren't temporary structures. And because reason why is I forgot which World's Fair. I have to do the research to find out. You could Google it yourselves. But they kept a few of these temporary buildings, and they're still there to this day. As there are 2 buildings they kept as something big and grand. But that the way that those buildings were built are pristine. They were perfect, and they have so much structure, good structure, and good art and good work. If we were horse and buggy, we couldn't even make that temporary or permanent. It was dug up. Like that's why you could tell if you live in the United States, especially in some areas, the window is like below the ground. They had to dig down, and you see how everything, like the bricks, they were under dirt, like there was a mud flood. We found all these buildings. These were all here before us. When we came, that's it. We found Freemasonry. We found these buildings. We undug them, you know what I mean? And they put pictures of just like a scaffolding or a ladder or guys being up there working on it. And they weren't working on nothing. It was done. And it just obviously wasn't them working on it. You know what I mean? And they were taking them down because they are lying to this day of us about our human history. That's it. We had a bad reset, I believe, in the past, and the ones that survived decided to control, like the certain bloodlines, the 12 bloodlines that rule the world. They say that they decided to lie and change the narrative of what our history is. They don't want us to know what we are really capable of and what we're from. Like the ones that believe in God, we're from God. We're somebody's big, and they want us to feel like we're just rats, just trying to not be worthless and nothing, and they wanted to take those buildings down because that was added a timeline. And even there's more stuff that you find out in the timeline. Like I seen the video. I don't have it on me right now. I already erased it. I would show you. You could Google it on TikTok. I think it is, where these 2 girls on the fire hydrant. It was like 1920. Took the fire hydrant in the city and wrapped a cord around it and opened up the thing so they could dial, and they had a mobile phone. They were able to make a phone call. The antenna was cute as hell, an umbrella. They had the wire, the stuff to get better I guess, reception or something. But they had that technology in the 20s, and I swear, if you look hard enough, you will see it, and you probably don't even have to look hard. You see the video of it, and they say airplanes were the first things. If you look hard enough, it's airships. We had airships in the 1800s. They say no, 19 something. No, we had them in the 1800s. Even Abraham Lincoln had an airship, and they save a piece of it. If you look hard enough, you could find these in writing, on the internet. I know not everything's real on the internet, but certain areas and certain sites and certain subjects, you can get the facts. You can swim through the bullshit and get to the truth. So Abraham Lincoln had even an airship. Like airships were around. I seen pictures and videos of them docking on skyscrapers, where they would get taking the free energy from the ether. All that stuff exists. But what I'm gonna do is, this is gonna be a shorter video. I'm gonna end it here because I don't know how these microphones are gonna be working out, and I just wanted to try the new style. I plan on doing it like this, but every time I switch back to the the scene and the girls dancing, the girls, who cares? They're on a repeat over and over, but my story keeps rewinding to the beginning. So we got to find out how to do this where we don't, so we don't have to keep fast forwarding and trying to find the video. I commented on, so I found pausing it to come over here. But I don't think there's any other updates I need to give you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I tell everybody they can go fuck themselves when they want me to take down my channel, because they say I'm too honest. I air out too much shit. Like I say too much, or blah blah. I tell them fuck you. Like my fans, my watchers, my subs, all you guys, Prolone, J Biz, all of you guys. I'm not naming you all of you guys are always messaging me and worrying and wondering if we and my fiance are all right, giving us good wisdom. When we were homeless for that year, looking out for us, saying things will be all right. Everything gets greater later. I love you for that, and I'm not gonna stop. I told them, you guys are the reason why I'm able to be all right. Of course, my fiance is number one reason, but you guys are my outlet. I utilize you guys to make these videos, so I feel I'm doing something positive when I do the Bozo Chronicles, helping hopefully at least one person to not make my mistake, learn from my mistake. Don't make your own and have to learn the hard way like I did, and I also enjoy it. I get to socialize and I get to vent, and you guys are very supportive of me. There's no negative. I once in a blue, back then there was negative messages and I used to beef, but I won't pay them no mind. It's only fucking keyboard gangsters, but that's a long time ago. You guys have all been so supportive, nonstop. So I thank you for that. And I told even CPS, no, fuck you. Like, that has nothing to do with your job or our case. Like, you are going over your job function, your pay grade. And I'm reporting her for it. I have the screenshots of my texting her about it and her answering. I went to my lawyer, and I'm going to try to get it replaced, because you don't threaten. We're not going to have a good time at court if I don't take my videos of girls shaking their ass down. I just made another one right now, you know what I mean? And I'm going to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to keep talking about my Bozo Chronicles as I keep remembering them. I'm going to try to make the next one a Bozo Chronicle. I'm going to try to remember it, or a good update, and tell you some nice tea, you know what I mean? Because this stuff, I don't tell you the whole story, because I think you might be bored and say, oh, this fucking guy not telling a good story, and get off. So, but I could put enough stuff together where it's a good update. But that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit like, share it, do whatever. I appreciate it. This is it. Fallen Angels, I will be back. So I'll talk to you guys later, probably tomorrow, because I'm seeing my son tomorrow. So probably tomorrow in the evening. All right.